Oh, there we go. Okay. Looks like we're playing. Looks like we're live. Okay. So this is a bit of an impromptu stream. I found a problem with the game, and I just want to try and fix it, and I want to show it on stream. So this is episode 11 of Two Idiots Learn to Code, and this is the series Brain Drain, where we are building a game which is a quiz game, and I am Idiot Davie from the Two Idiots Learn to Code, and this is one of Amax Games series, and I'm going to try and fix some issues that I have spotted with the game. So if we jump in here to our Unity, I need to find out where this add script being called is, because I have no ads in this game at this moment in time. So something here has a add call that I'm not aware of. But I noticed that if I'm playing around with the simulator here and I change to different screen sizes, you can see from the image that it's really just not it's not scaling correctly. I noticed this when I tested it on a physical device. And I mean, that's not taking into consideration the idiocy of apples, floating islands, or punch holes, or whatever they're calling it these days. So there's clearly an issue with how I've set this up. So I think I know what the problem is. So if I go to my canvas is set to screen space overlay, which is fine. But it's set to UI scaling as constant pixel size. I think that's the problem. So I think if I change this to scale with screen size, this looks ridiculous now, but hopefully I can now go in here and I can select each of the icons, because what I'll do is I'll change this to another simulator just to make sure. That looks like everything's kind of off the screen now. So yeah, so I just need to bring some of these icons back in a little bit and try to find something that is safe. So in the case of this one, I'll just squeeze it at the sides a little. Okay. And then I'll go to the score text and question text. So it doesn't let me change the position there, which is interesting. So does that mean that my canvas is now off screen? Okay, no, my vertical layout group doesn't have padding. Right, so let's put 25 left. 25 left's not helped. 50 left. No, that's not helped. 100. Okay, 125. Okay, and from the right we'll do 125. Ooh, okay. So let's, in fact, we'll do 100 all round for most, right? So I'll bring these down to 100. Okay, and then I'll see if I can move these in a little bit. So will it allow me to grab score text and move it? It will not. Okay. So the problem here then lies with the vertical layout group. So can I do that? Doesn't change anything. What about that? Oof. Ooh. Okay, so that moved them completely off screen, which really wasn't what I was trying to do. So how do I bring them back in? So top left. I'm just trying to check the alignment here. So top left, top left, top left. Okay, so these are all top left. Okay, these are top left as well. So that's interesting. So if I resize these, can I bring them in then? Is that maybe what it is? I need to shorten these down a bit. Because it's not going to let me move it, is it? No, it's not. Okay, so in that case, my only option is to try and bring them in this way. Come on. Okay, and then do the same with question. Jesus, that's a big, big area for question. Okay, so for starting, zoom in here, try and grab this one. Okay, it's not letting me do that, that's fine. I'll bring it in first and hopefully that helps. I'll click on here, I can drag that in and bring that in here. Okay. Now bring that up there. Okay, that's looking better. So let's try this on a different resolution. Oh, that doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Is that the padding? That's going to be the padding, isn't it? Right. So let's go back to our beer. In fact, we'll have to update it with our code anyway. I might actually start doing this in the morning after stream. So after the reset, but before I do any other streams, so it resets again. So let's go back here. What I need to do is I need to feed it my code. So I need to go here. Okay, and you only get a certain amount of requests with ChatGPT, so you want to get as many in each post as possible. So this is internetcheck.cs. Okay. Down the bottom. I'm just going to put in the ones that I've changed recently. Quiz Database Manager changed, didn't it? Yeah. Come on. It's not picking up that many things in. Right, there we go. So what else has changed? Quiz questions, it stayed the same. Splash hasn't changed. Brain drain quiz changed. So just update all of the code so it knows what I'm working with. Okay, thanks for dropping off our scripts. Make it really clear project. Okay, from what I can see, it looks consistent between save and primary and quiz. On stats, okay, right. So it's remembered our previous answers. Okay, and since you already have our net check producing UI, you don't need to duplicate logic stats panel instead. Add this method to internet check. Okay, so it's wanting internet check to add this. I'll get back to the resize thing in a moment. I'm just trying to get it to correct my code after the problems we had yesterday where it removed changes I'd already made because it was not aware of those changes. So, and then stats panel controller dot show stats. Save that. Stats panel controller dot show stats. And it wants me to put that in at the end. So I'll save that. That means it's always up to date. Okay. Okay. We would suggest you like me to combine all player preference track answer correct game complaints high score into a single stats manager helper. This would help keep all stats logic in one place instead. Spread between place and stats panel controller. Not for now, right? I'm not going to ask that for now. So, how can I ensure my game looks the same on different devices? Okay, Citra canvas and hierarchy. So let's click here. Yep. Okay. Set UI scale mode to scale with screen size, which is what I thought was the problem initially. Oh, the game's recompiling, so it's taking its time. Come on. Okay, I'm not trying to open it again. I don't know what your problem is. Close that. Something restarted. Actually, it crashed. Awesome, we crashed Unity. Wow, that's a first. Okay, so let's reopen Unity and wait 13 hours for it to actually open. I know it doesn't take 13 hours to be fair. I thought it took a while to open until I actually compiled Brain Drain earlier on into an APK to test it on Android and realised, wow, it is slow to compile. I'd love to try a Mac for it since we're developing for iOS as well, or at least that's the intention. For the time being, however, that might not be the case. That's not going to be as easy as it sounds because I've never tried Mac. Well, I've never tried a modern Mac. I've never tried coding a Mac. I don't know what it's going to be like, so I don't really know what to expect here. Whether I'd just be better upgrading my laptop that I've got, my PC. Wow, that looks fantastic. That's excellent job. What the heck is this? Okay. Uh, Whatever broke there broke badly. Like seriously broke badly. Okay. So canvas, constant pixel size should be scaled with screen. Okay. We'll see if this fixes it, shall we? Set a resolution IG 1920 by 1080. Yep. So 1920 by 1080. Uh, okay. That seems to have fixed it. Though that seems quite small, so has it reset other things when it crashed? It's not just me, is it? That looks tiny. Uh, okay. So the brain drain icon's tiny, everything looks tiny. It looks like I've got a lot more space now, though, I suppose. So, question. Okay. Canvas. Well, canvas covers a whole thing. Debug window, I don't mind being small. Logo. Okay, let's go back to what ChatGPT was whining on about. Okay. Set screen match mode to match width or height. So let's go back to canvas. Match width or height, that's set. Adjust the match slider, e.g. 0.5 to balance the scale between width and height. Okay. So then 0.5. Okay, that's looking a lot healthier right away. Sheesh. Okay. Okay, so I'll save that in case it crashes again because reasons. Jump back in, see what else it's wittering on about. Okay, so I'm using vertical and horizontal layout groups, or rather I'm using vertical layout groups. So, okay, content size fitters for panels. So, I don't have any panels in this one, but I do have panels elsewhere. So let me save this. Let me change my scene. And go to the main menu and go to panel. Okay, we have a stats panel. What does it say about panels? Content size fitter. Okay, is that a component? Content. Yes, it is. Okay. Horizontal fit. Okay, it doesn't really tell me how to use that. We'll do the safe area part in a moment. I need to do that anyway for the people in the sheep pen, because it's more of an issue with their floating island or whatever they're calling it today. But remember, losing part of your resolution is magic and revolutionary, like all of Apple's products. Jesus. Use temporary effects, okay. Use auto size for appropriate so the font adapts to the screen. Okay, so I need to change that. I'm not using sprites as 9 slices, so test multiple aspect ratios. That's how I found out this was a problem in the first place. Okay. Right, okay, so I need to attach that script, but let's do that. Right, let's have. Oh God, what can I add this to? Should I add that to the main game script? You know what? I'm just going to for the sake of this, I'm just going to call it safe area.cs and create a new script. So right click, create C# save area.cs. Let's open it up. Control A, Control V, Alt Fs. Jump across. Okay. I'll implement that on the items in a moment. I want to change the text in our TMPs. So it's really just the stats panel on this page I'm worried about. Auto size. I'm just going to presume that it's going to do what I need it to do if I select these. So I'm just going to go through all these and select the auto size. May have to change these a little, to be honest, but I don't think 18-point font would kind of work. So actually, if I stopped at debut version, if I enable this, see, you can see that it's actually changing. So if I go to quick quote and I click auto size, awesome. It looks like I'm running out of space in there, but that looks like it will do the job. So turn my stats panel off again. Okay, so I need to save this. And I need to go back to. So what did it want me to add the safe areas to? Okay, so panels like the main UI canvas. Okay, so it's want me to add these to the canvases. All right. Oh. Not sure what that is. It's a warning, so I'm hoping that's going to be okay. Canvas. Okay, so add the safe area script onto the canvas. Did that work? Don't think it did. Okay, what about the main canvas? Okay, so it worked in the main canvas. Don't know if we'll have to add it to the secondary canvas, to be fair, because that's actually we will, because it's not a child. Okay, so hopefully they work, and I will save this and then go into our main game scene. Okay, and there's our canvas there. So go back here to scripts and add the safe area to the canvas. Okay, and let's run play and see if it crashes, it bails, if it cries because I've broke it all. Okay, that looks okay. I'll probably want to resize these, so let's just stop them just now. So score text should be auto size. Question text should be auto size. Answer input field. Does it allow me to give it a text? I can't remember. There's no auto size for that. So we'll need to see how we deal with that. Feedback text should also be auto-sized. Question count's not really used. Play again button's turned off. I've just realised question count has two ends in it. Awesome. Right. That's a problem for another day. Okay, so let's try play now and see how this looks. This might not look correct because it might not scale correctly. Having the score been smaller is not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. Looking at that on my tablet, it looks blurry, but it kind of looks much better in the preview than it does elsewhere. Don't know what the cause of that is though. But that could be a resizing thing. Okay. What was ChatGPT's other suggestions? Okay. Yeah, sort of size for appropriate support adaptive screen size. Yeah. Buttons and panels use 96 sprites. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just put I added save area.cs using this code. added it to my canvases. It sounds like our chief security officer's requiring some feed. Is it supper time, kitten? Spiky, is it supper time? Right, give me 2 ticks and I'll go feed you, okay? Okay, perfect. You done exactly right. And okay, yeah. Shakes from provisions may consider. I'm not worried about screen rotation at the moment. And I think that's fine. I'm testing on real devices anyway. Okay, so what I'll do then, now that we've made those changes, is I'll do file and save to save everything. And we will build the game and run on the Android device that it's connected to. Now this will take a few minutes, and while that's doing that, I'm going to feed the kitten. You getting fed? You saying hello to the YouTube users? Say hello, Amax Games fans. Meow. I'm not sure my mic's picking him up for him. There it is. Back in a moment. Okay, our chief security officer has been fed, and our game appears to be booting up on our tablet. And it failed. I cannot see anything. Oh, I can see the brain drain logo and the stats part at the top, but I can't see any of the buttons. Stats looks good, blown up, but I can't close it, so there's still something wrong. Now, why? That was in the main menu, so why wouldn't the main menu scale? So let's just close the log cap for Android. And let's go back to our main menu and see if we can work out what's wrong. So we'll go back to our assets, go back to our scenes, and go back to main menu. Okay, so main camera's fine. Main menu has a canvas. Okay, the main menu's canvas is completely different. So there's two canvases here. It's interesting. What's this canvas got to do? That's got the safe area on it. This is the one that's actually got details on it. Is this canvas actually doing anything? If I disable it, let's find out. Let's try that again, see if our game is broken. Okay, it didn't break our game. So that could be an errant canvas. I swear English is my first language. Okay, so let's go back into what it suggested here. I'm going to save everything first though, because reasons. So I need this canvas to be 1920 by 1080, which I think is correct. Okay, and I need it to scale with screen size, and I need a 0.5 for that. That looks pretty sweet. And stats canvas should be the same. It should be 1920 by 1080. That should be 0.5. Zero 0.5. Why is it not letting me do 0.5? There we go. Okay. So again, let's save. And the simulator and using the remote Unity tool does not show this problem. So I have to compile it again. However, if I go to build settings, I should be able to patch and run the SDK, rather the APK. It's already on the system, which should make this quicker. Definitely looks like it's faster. The previous time I went down, fed spike, came back up. So it was probably a couple of minutes, and we're only sitting at about a minute at the moment. So maybe patch and run's the way forward for when we're doing this. Okay, looks like that's done. Okay, I just got the Made with Unity logo. Now I've got the Amax Games logo. I need to find a way to show this on camera. And that looks awesome. It does say development build in the corner, which I'd never been able to read before, so I now understand what that says. And it now looks completely, yeah, it now looks awesome. It now looks completely the way I would expect it to. So that is awesome. I'll need to remember that when creating templates. Oh, Chief Security Officer's back. Hi, Spike. You coming up? Up. No? He's just been vocal at the moment. Give him a moment. There's a warning there. What does a warning in a log cat say? It's just a warning about game version, doesn't really tell me anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select round mode. And when I did that, it did not select a question. That's interesting. Okay, so it failed to load the question. Survival mode? No, it's the same in hardcore mode. Okay. DLL not found, exception below DLL SQL. Right, so something's wrong with the builds database. Okay. And this is why you try things in physical devices as well, ladies and gentlemen. So let's close this down just now. Let's ask our guru. So we shall go back to our chat GPT. Thanks, that now works. Looks like things are scaling correctly. You've been very vocal, kitten. You saying hello to the YouTube fans? Is you saying hello to the YouTube fans? Come on. Like I'm getting my system at the moment is unbelievable. I love how it gives me this as the option at the end. Would you like to set up a global UI template, safe area, canvas scaler, and TMP settings so your scenes are consistent without needing to redo everything? Okay. When I test this on a physical device, Android, I get this error. So I remember something about the DLL being a problem when I first started deciding to do this with a database. Okay, so need to create the plugin folder if it's not there. Let me just close this just now. I do have a plugin folder. So Android SQLite and x86 appear to have them. Select import settings in Unity. Select each .so file in the Unity project window. No, 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 no. Okay, that's a DLL. Let's Okay, I thought I'd already downloaded these, but apparently not. Let's go to the official repository. Just open the link. Okay. You need the shared object files for each Android architecture. Precompiled binaries, source code, precompiled binaries, build product name. Okay, it doesn't tell me. Right, awesome. So, but I don't have an Android Studio project. I'm guessing it's got to be this one. Okay. People, SQL3 Android libraries. It's only one there that mentions Android. I'm having deja vu here. Okay, so I also need to do a build Android. That's fine. So let's open a download folder. Sort by date modified. So I don't know what an AAR file is. So let's try the other one. Let's try the SQL. Download the zip file, extract its contents, and copy the resulting folder to your assets plugins folder. It contains the DLLs you need to access it. SQLite. Copy the SQLite.csv. Okay, I've done that. Don't forget to copy your SQLite database. Okay, I've done that. Android particulars. Android configuration deployment is very straightforward. Take a look at the following video if you want to get a picture of how to proceed. Okay, so let's go back. Let's download. I'm pretty sure this is the one I downloaded originally, actually. Let's just download that, open it up. SQLite for Unity, plugins, Android. Oops. Jesus. Okay, right. So it's fine. For the sake of this, I'm just going to go and extract. Actually, will that work? Do I extract it to the plugins folder, or do I put it in a folder called SQLite? Because I go back to my folder here. Okay, so I've got Android x86. So there's an Android folder there, but it's not got everything it needs. Okay, so let's just try this. So I'll just grab these. It's not going to let me do that directly, as it's going to want me to decompress it first. Okay, so okay, right click, 7-zip, extract to SQLite, down the bottom, and SQLite. In here, and the plugins, copy these three. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Why did it rename Android rather than what? Delete that. Inside the Android folder, open up that. Go to Android, copy libs across. No, just the libs. Come on, just the libs. No, come on, mouse, stop being a pain. Try again. No. There we go. Okay, copy libs into the folder. Let's should probably watch that video. So it should, but for the time being, that doesn't help. So it's now detected multiple plugins with the same name. Okay. So the x86 and 64 one were fine, right? So for the sake of this, I'm just going to take these two folders out. Hopefully that solves that problem. Okay, that did solve that problem. So I want to copy that URL. Just copy the link. Does that work? Okay. I am going to watch this in another screen. Actually, my audio is cut off by the looks of it. So as a result of that, we should be fine. If I just Control V this in here, we'll get one of YouTube's annoying ads, I'm sure. I should be able to hear it if I am mute. Okay. Going to move this off screen so I don't get a copyright hit for it. I'll just get to the point that I need to talk about. I don't need to hear the rest of the stuff. Okay. This video is 9 years old. 9 years old. Okay, let's see if it's still relevant, shall we? So Android libs and get each version, click on it, and then yep, it says Android. Okay, so what was the other requirement? Was it ChatGPT that told us? Android is checked and architecture matches. Unit will then include it, okay. Then rebuild the Android project from scratch. Okay, so that one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. Okay. Don't know if I need to load on startup thing, but let's try that again. So do file and save, and then do file and build and run. It wants me to build this from scratch. So we shall give it a go. Okay, that didn't take as long as I was expecting. So yeah, I'm now looking at the main menu. If I click on round, I get a question. Awesome. What was the first computer to use cached memory? I'm going for IBM. .B.M. Okay, I got that one wrong. Never got that. Who's the first president of South Africa after apartheid? Nelson Mandela? Okay, I think I need to have to type these answers in. I spelled Mandela wrong. Okay. Right, let's go for quit. Okay, so that did highlight something. The game's working. Scaling seems to be working. That's a good thing. The database is now working. But it's a lot harder to type on a tablet keyboard or a phone keyboard. So I need to extend the time limit for questions. So let's just do file and save, and do file, and we need to switch our scenes. So back to assets, go back to scenes, go back to our main game, and say our main game. Come on. I believe it's Quiz Database Manager. No, Quiz Manager. Okay, inside here. The question per round is 10 is fine. So, right, so I need to add a variable for quiz time, I think. Pardon me. I'll just go, thanks, that fixed it. I'm only targeting Android for now. But I do think the game mode, no, not game mode, the survival needs adjusted. Can we make Can we make this a serialized but American way? Field that can be changed. So while it's thinking about that, I'm going to do another version control on this. I'll just put Android SQL added. Or SQL DLL added. Scaling. Okay, so it doesn't let me hit return there. Fair enough. UI scaling corrected. What else? What else did we change in this run? I think that's fine for now. So I'll just check in. Okay. So got it. Since you want to target an Android, discount set up for survival time adjustment. We can add a serialized field. Your site can update your brain drain. That you've been full brain drain. It looks like it may have. No, it didn't give me a full brain drain. Okay, so that's quite a chunk to edit then. So let's open the brain drain code. If I can find it, it's there. Okay. So go back to what ChatGPT is saying. So lots of references. Let's see. Current question index, questions per round. Game object, yeah, that's all that is there. I don't see where it's adding the timer. Okay. So the next bit either just showed me which parts had changed. I like how it splits up though: user interface, audio, game settings. I quite like that. Since I've already saved this and this takes us down to the enumerator start, let's just copy this across. Presumably just replaces these. So it goes down to level 7, so it's add a couple there. Okay. Let's save this, see what broke. See what broke. Anything. Okay, that's really well split up. I like this. Maybe arrange it so the button's on the bottom, to be honest, but other than that, that looks good. So let's jump across then, because this should just be a case of me cutting that one out there and placing it in there. And then when that recompiles, that should put my buttons at the bottom. Okay. Awesome. So questions from survivability. Okay, so that adds it to the game settings. that didn't. Sorry, I was correct. That did not appear to add anything to the game settings. So, which part did it actually change? No, I don't want the survival. Okay, and it's misunderstood the question. It's misunderstood the question. Although, uh, what's the best way to handle this? This isn't what I meant. In survival mode, a user gets 30 seconds to answer a question or loses a line. This is the option I wanted to be able to edit. Okay, so that basically looks the same. No, I'm not going to bother copying the top ones because I've already corrected them. Lag on this system at the moment is unbelievable. So let's just replace these. Not them. Okay, let that recompile. Okay, go back to our guru. Right. Okay, so that's quite a chunk. So basically, it wants me to change from start. Should we start again with this one? No, see, if I'd have done a copy and paste there, I'd have broken things because I added the reset player prefs. Interesting that it's not remembered that though. Because I did give it that code, that updated code earlier. Okay, that's fair enough, right? So I just need to basically paste this in from start. Okay, so from here to start, and then probably need to delete a bracket there. I think that should be fine. Okay, jump back into our game, see if it's broken in. Survival timer sitting at 30, I like that. Okay, so let's set survival time at 10. And we will click play. I'll come out of the game on my phone and go into the Unity remote. Okay. Of course, I didn't launch it through the main menu, so it went straight into round mode. So I need to stop that, because that's not going to help me. I need to save this. And I know I said I was extending it. The reason I'm setting it to 10 is because then that's quick for me to notice if it's failed. I need to go to project. I need to go to main menu, and I need to click play. And what do I need to do now? I need to go to survival mode, count to 10. Interesting, the mode didn't change. Pretty sure that's been more than 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So why is that went to round mode? Okay, click to main menu is not working either in that. Bet you have accidentally deleted the quit to main menu option. Bet you. Okay, let's open in-game menu. I bet you if I go here and go canvas and the quit button has kept going missing. It is. Oh, this is another reason why it's not very useful. So do Control A, Control C to copy, and if I do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So I'll restart game and quit main menu. So I need to move this. I need to add its code, but I need to add it at a different place. So let's go back here, copy their code. Well, I'll just copy the whole thing. So restart game. Oh, interesting. So I had restart game. I remembered that, but didn't remember the quit game and quit to main menu. Okay. That's fine. This is why you constantly try new things. Because you never know. What the heck happened there? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, because I hadn't selected all of this. Okay, so remove restart game because it's already there. Pop that one ahead too. That should hopefully fix things. That's why you should always make any additions you're going to make when you're doing ChatGPT stuff at the end of the file, because then you can easily copy and paste things in here. Doesn't explain why it wasn't failing, however. But let's go back and try it again. And we will retry our quit button. Though to be fair, if it had selected round mode, which is also a possibility, then if it's selecting the wrong mode, rounds don't have a timer. Okay, so survival mode. No. Quit button works now though. What about hardcore mode? Right, okay, so it's not changing the mode. Excellent. Okay, so let's go back into our main menu, go back to our canvas, go back to round button. Okay, start round mode. Survival button. Okay, survival button there should be start survival mode. And the hardcore button should be start hardcore mode. Okay, wonder why they changed. Okay, hopefully that's that fixed. So let's do our file and save. Oops. Oh, I've just closed it. Hate it when I do that. So I need to make sure nothing's running. Need to go into our stats canvas. Need to go into our canvas rather. Need to go into our round button. Start bounce correct. Survival. In menu. Start survival mode. Hardcore. Main menu. Start hardcore mode. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. So let's do file and save. And let's try again. Okay, survival mode. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so survival mode's not working still. Hardcore mode, still showing as round at the top. So, ish, ne, som, she, go, ro, ish, ash, q. Yeah, so it's definitely not working now. Although it could still be set to 30 seconds since I made that change, couldn't it? Right, anyway, let's do file and save. Let's exit play mode, file and save. So the round mode, go back here in our code. To Control H and type start. Okay, not what I'm looking for. So restart game. Yep, restart game. Restart game. So it calls a set mode. Okay. So restart game sets the score to 0. Current question index is 0. Updates the user interface. Sets the play again button to active. Or rather, it sets the active and the play again button to false. Submits interactive answer text into active. Update game mode. Load questions. So is it update game mode UI? Because I don't see. Let's go back to our user interface here. So let's go back to our game scene. And let's open our canvas. And let's select our debug. Okay. So debug can show whatever we want, basically. So if I go back to Quiz Manager, is debug set to show this? No. Okay. I know, debug is set to show the game mode text. Okay. So let's go back here and test our logic then, shall we? Let's go back to, in fact, let's go back to our game. Let's go back to our main menu and let's check our buttons again. So round button, main menu, start round mode. Main menu control. Why would the wrong thing? Okay. So round staying in player prefs. That's why it's not changing. Is this because it's not saving the player things? Because it's not saving the player prefs? Man, my typing's terrible. Okay, so main menu control.cs. The game seems to always set to round mode, regardless what button I press. Oops, forgot to actually give it my main menu.cs. We need loads of quiz scene fresh, and I think we can fix this using player prefs. Okay. So let's my main menu.cs. Main menu controller. Probably should have a quit button in that front page as well. Okay. So let's go to so where's set round mode being called? Okay, so set round mode, set survival mode, set hardcore mode are never called. So inside our enumerator start, somewhere about here maybe. Yeah, I don't call it mode though, what do I call it? Okay, so it's close database manager, okay. There's questions, get in text. Okay. So if total questions in text, you load from player prefs, and then set the game mode. Okay. Get rid of its stupid little item. So click around the main menu, can we go round, click survival. No, I don't think that'll be useful just now. Maybe something for a later date. So with that in mind, let's jump back to our game. Wait for it to recompile. Okay, so let's try this again. Remember I said earlier on, it said developer mode in the bottom corner of the screen when I was running the game. It also shows trial mode if you're using the remote. So if you're using your remote, it says trial mode. If you're actually testing on the device, it says developer mode. That's maybe something I should add to the stats panel, actually, whether it's in developer mode or not. Okay, so if I click survival, yep, survival, 3 lives, timer 10 seconds. I like that. Let's give it 10 seconds, see if it fails. It did. Sweet. Okay, let's do it quick for that one. Let's try hardcore mode. Yep, quit that one as well. Interesting that it showed lives in the debug one. So I need to check that one. because if I go to survival mode, it shows the lives and the timer up the top. So what I need to do is look in here for lives and timer. Actually, if I do just Control F and get timer. Whoops. Yeah, there it's there. So I can actually copy this across to hardcore mode as well. And because there's variables in there, I need to put $1 in the front. Okay. Let's save that. So let's go back to the game. Should we compile on the fly? When you find the ad scripts, I might remove. I'll search all the files for ads in a minute. Okay, so now if I click in hardcore mode, and it shows 1 life in 10 seconds. That's cool because that also means that I could potentially sell a in-app purchase to buy more time for hardcore mode. So I think if I go back here, stop playing just now. If I go back to Stats Manager, buttons at the bottom, not Stats Manager, is it? Okay, I'm in the wrong menu, that's why I'm not going to see it. So I just do file, save here, and then go back into our game scene. If I do Quiz Manager, I'll select the survival timer to, I think, 45 seconds. Looks a fair bet for that. We can always tweak this at a later date. That's why I wanted it serialized. So let's do it. Save for that. So much for me only streaming for an hour. We're an hour and 36 minutes into the recording, although YouTube's a couple of minutes behind because it had issues. So, okay, let's try and get rid of this ad error because I don't recall ads anything here. Maybe I do. So let's go here. Save mode, there's definitely nothing for ads in there because that's new. And that's add block, not ads. Add blocked unavailable, ads loaded. That's not okay, there we go. Get ad script, right? So right, so that's not actually to do with an advert. I don't think. That's when it's trying to grab the ad script URL. So if I change that to add script, add block. Script fail using fallback. Okay, so I'll just save that. I'm just going to change that to debug.log because debug.warning is far scarier than it needs to be. Okay, so save that again. I'll jump back in here. Recompile on the fly. Awesome. Right, so just going to quit that just now. Oh, something's went a little screw off there. The sizing there wasn't correct. That's what she said. Um, something I wanted to add, and it's completely went out of my brain because I was looking at that. So yes, we were wanting to add hints to it, weren't we? That was something else we wanted to add to the game. And we also wanted, what else did we want apart from hints? What else did we want apart from hints? Right, we wanted to show the difficulty. Okay, so show copy back to ChatGPT. Here is my brain drain quiz. Yes. I'd like to show question difficulty to the user. Come on. So that's an interesting thing. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. So why is it not letting me send that? Oh, okay. It will not let me continue, although it's not warning me that I've hit my message limit reached. Okay. So can I do it in a new chat, or is it just going to complain? I don't care if it's not ChatGPT 5. ChatGPT 4 would be fine. Okay, so that didn't work because it doesn't know anything about my database. So okay, so load random question. Question. Okay, so it should be in the brain drain quiz. So it helps you looking at the right script. So load next question. Load random question. Okay. Ooh, color based on difficulty, green, yellow, and red. I like that, so I won't take that version. Also modify get random question quiz to prefer not repeating the same difficulty too often. No, not for now. I'll ask it how to balance it at a later moment. So, load random question. If current question equals null. Okay. Doesn't really tell me where to put it, so I'm just gonna. I'm actually going to put it in after this. Or can I? It should probably go in there. So it should. Shouldn't it? I think this should be in here. Okay. So I'll ask it if I. How do I store this in TMP? Text. Yeah, that's been done. That's been done. Okay. So if I save it, do I break it? Let's find out. So how would that change really be shown? Okay, so actually if I go back to our main game, so file, save, back to our game scene, and go to Quiz Manager, difficulty text. That should probably be up in UI references to be fair. But I wonder if it'd be better just changing the question color. No. Do I need to put question in front of it? What does it look like? I think it's just a number. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll put a text in below this, maybe, and then we'll have the hints down here. So let's try that. So go to canvas, right click, user interface, text mesh pro, difficulty. Okay. Difficulty and alt size, and let's move it up to below question. Okay. So let's go back to Quiz Manager and grab difficulty and add it there. And click play and see how it goes. It's a bit small, bit small. Okay. Difficulty is a bit small. So what's the other one set at? So the other ones are set 1872, and difficulty text is set to 18. That's set to 1872 as well. Okay. So what's the difference? I'm guessing it's the length and height of the it could be the position as well. Do I just make this taller? What do I think? Should I just zoom in a bit? Maybe make this a bit taller. Can't spell difficulty, I. Okay. Picking my spelling for the difficulty. That was correct. Difficulty. Difficulty. Okay, don't know why that doesn't look right then. So let's go back to difficulty text. Make it centered. Does that look better? Let's try that. Now let's get colors on it. This looks fine here, but it looks off center here. Yeah? Is it just me? Am I better? Okay. Right, so that's fine. Anywho, okay. What kind of suggestions do you have for allowing hints? For the questions made up of a simple question. Actually, it already knows that because it can see you from a database. No? Okay, well, the hints will be limited anyway, so I'm not too worried about it being overused. Okay, so let's go back to our user interface then. And I think the hint should fit down here. What do we think? Yeah? So just for the sake of it, I'm going to duplicate difficulty text. Duplicate. I'm going to change its text to hint. I'm going to move it down below the submit button. And I'm going to rename it hint text. Okay. Okay. Yeah, how would they get the hint? How would they select it? Think about a hint button down the bottom. We'll also need to show a hint count. Okay. So let's duplicate the submit button. Rename it hint button. And then change its text to read a hint. And move it and move it below hint. And rename hint text without the additional. Okay, so we now have a hint button. So we'll probably need to add a hint count. I think I'll wait till ChatGPT resets for that one. Okay. I've added a hint button. Hints will be limited, so I've added a hint button when the user clicks the button. It should update the hint text with a hint. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to copy it across that. I'm going to do it quite the way it wants. I'm going to place it here. Take out those two. And I'm going to move these up the top. Okay. So we'll save that. And we've hit our 2-hour limit mark for my usual streams. And we've got a few minutes to go, I suppose, because YouTube is a little bit late. So I'll keep it going. And I may continue this tomorrow. I think we need to redesign this user interface. I think we need to rethink how to do it. Maybe with another panel in here, the buttons. We'll think that. I'll need to look at some examples. Okay, so go back to here. Yeah. I'm going to add that, but I want. Yeah, I'm going to add that, but I want to change it. Current question. So for the time being, I'm just going to put debug.log hint clicked. Okay, because we need to actually track hints. Okay, so I'll ask it to do that in a moment. I don't need to worry about these just now. What is this? Okay, yeah. If you want to also add feature deduct points. No, I don't want to deduct points. So I need to add a hint counter. So users can't just use hints to resolve this. The counter will start with 3 hints and be persistent between games. Okay, we're getting to in the weeds with this. Because it doesn't all over code. But we probably should have a hints. Yeah, a hints remaining thing, hints remaining display. So I'll probably duplicate score. I might see if you can add a vertical and horizontal thing for design and user interface, what are called, layout things. Yeah, I know what I mean. Okay, so right click and duplicate, and I'll just put hints. Because it'd be nice if I could just move hints up next to score. In fact, it'd be even better if I could move score and hints over to the top corners. But I'd need to take them. I think I'd need a canvas and a canvas for that, would I not? Again, need to wonder about that. So I can do the show hint button. I need to log remaining hints. Okay. Do you know what? I'm just going to test the hint button clicked at the moment. Let's just save that. Because I still need to decide what hint is, or what hint we're going to do. Right, so it does save hints there, okay, so inside the star after score equals 0. Okay. What the hell is hints key? Okay. So main hints from that. Okay, and then go down the bottom. As like I said, you add things to the bottom so you don't forget about them. Okay. And okay, so shouldn't really care about that. I don't think. I don't think I need a reset. So I think I've got hint text. I think it's hint counter text that's missing. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wait for that to compile. Over a 2 hour mark. So I shall be ending this stream shortly. But in this one, we've fixed the DLL issue, we've fixed the scaling issue, we've added hints. What else we did? What else did we do? We fixed the main menu issue, so we fixed a lot of issues in this one. Okay, so I think the hint probably, I just need to hit play and we'll test the button. Oh, no, the button's not been assigned, so the button's not going to work. I need to generate some more thumbnails in a moment anyway. And I shall create a to-do list because I think I'll be streaming tomorrow. For some reason, closing that bottle peeked out my headset. So apologies, RIP headphone users, etc. So let's select our hint button. Go to change this to show hint. Okay, so now when I click play, you should be able to check it down here. What I'll do is once it's open, I'll click clear. And you can click hint, and you can see hint button is clicked. Although hint definitely needs to, hint text needs to be set to 0. Well, to be fair, I'll just do it here. Set to 0. I mean, it needs emptied. Okay. So sweet. I've cleared the wrong one. Control Z. Control Z. Okay, it won't let me Control Z. Awesome. So I should say hint. And that should say nothing. Okay, that's better. Right, go and do file, we're going to save. So much for a quick stream. That's me being here over 2 hours. We've fixed a lot of things with the game. We've got it looking a heck of a lot better and compiling better on an actual physical device, including tablets. I still need to find out why it looks a little bit blurry in the tablet compared to the phone. That could just be that the tablets get really bad resolution. I'll not know that till I get some more devices to test on, and unfortunately, the game's not making any money. We've got no other games out there at the moment making money. Our YouTube channel's got 13 subscribers, so we're not making money on that either. At this point in time, it's going to be a while, I think, before we can afford various levels of hardware in order to do so. However, thank you for following us along. I suspect I will be going to code these hint things tomorrow, and amongst other things. I've also wrote an ad script that needs implemented. That can also be used in conjunction with the hints in order to try and build up some hint points. And I've been trying to create graphics for our coins within the game for in-app purchases going forward. In-app purchasing is a whole mess of different things that we need to do, but the original game will release with content and we'll get updates. The IAC stuff and IAC and let's go the IAP stuff later on will actually become a thing at a later date, so the store will be added at a later date. With that in mind, I am Idiot Davie of Amax Games, one of the 2 idiots learned to code, and this was episode 11, I believe, of 2 idiots learned to code, Brain Drain Edition. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.